Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. We talked about itong mukhang upcoming big changes sa Express Entry 2 days ago, no? Same, still with Attorney Lou. Do you guys remember kung napanood niyo yung episode na yun? We mentioned na meron na actually sa Attorney Lou nakitang specifics, no? Details kung ano talaga yung gustong baguhin o yung mga pinopropose rather na changes sa Express Entry once or kung matuloy yung pagmo-merge ng tatlong streams into one. At that time, we said, no, hindi pa natin pwede pag-usapan kasi nga actually, parang at that time, it was assumed na confidential yun. But then, yesterday, we noticed so many people already leaked this information. So we decided to go ahead and actually discuss now, finally, what we know. O, pero guys, tinan mo, naging mabait kami. Sumunod kami dun sa rules na initially pang lawyers lang muna yata yun di ba, Attorney Lou?
Yeah. Lawyers and
Oo.
consultants. So, ano lang naman 'to, pakiusap lang naman na 'wag masyadong publicly i-discuss, pero nag-leak nga, nakita natin sa various social media, networks like LinkedIn and
Yeah,
Twitter.
correct. Oh. Okay. So let's get right to it, guys, no? Sa totoo lang, very big changes. Basahin ko muna yung goal daw according dito sa IRCC. Basically, they want to focus on people na merong highest chance of economic success.
Mhm.
Yan. And I think a general theme also, Attorney Lou, is talagang priority, may incentives for high-skilled workers.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you agree with that? Is that at least simplify ng ganon? Hindi ba ganon ka-clear yung dating format, Attorney Luna, yun yung gusto ng Express Entry,
Mm.
makuhang mga immigrants?
Well, you raised 3 points. The first point is, yung economic success in Canada. Ito kasi yung nagpe-prevent ng attrition, yung hindi nagse-stay o pumipirme sa Canada. That has always been the goal of Canada's immigration programs, including express entry system, pati yung mga programs within. They value economic and social integration. That's why binigyan nila yung mga factors, ni-rate nila. Yung second na ni-raise mo is yung high wage. That's new. That was
Oh.
never part of like express entry before.
Mhm.
But now they realize na siguro most likely out of economic studies, tinignan nila na yung mga nakaka-receive ng higher wages in Canada, they end up staying in Canada rather than those na hindi maka-economically integrate, aalis sila. Kahit na makakuha silang PR, hindi sila pipirme. Kasi nga, bakit sila pipirme kung uwi sila sa bansa nila or magme-Middle East sila, mas malaki pa rin ang kikitain nila, di ba? Yung
Right.
pangatlo na binanggit mo, ano nga ba yun? Yung isa pang factor? Ito ba yung
Hindi ko maalala.
ano rin
Yun lang
maalala?
yata.
Oh, but economic integration, success, basically,
Ah,
pati yung high wage, yung emphasis nila ngayon is
incentivize. Oo, incentivize.
incentivize sila. That one is new. Pero yung
Ah,
economic success and integration, luma ito. Um,
alright. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And another thing pala, nakalimutan ko banggitin kanina. Pinopropose din daw tong changes na to which we will now start talking about to streamline everything, make the process simple.
Right.
Okay? At kung pag-uusapan lang ang simplifying the process, unahin na natin itong maaring pagbabago
Mhm.
sa standard requirements
Yes.
for yung mga factors na laging binabantayan like education, age, okay, kung may bago dyan, official language, yung language exam ninyo, anong score dapat, work experience. Diyan tayo mag-umpisa.
Mhm.
According to, dito sa nakikita natin, for education, sabi dito, Attorney Lou, ano na lang, ang minimum requirement is high school diploma,
Mhm.
verified
Mhm.
by yung mga agencies. Language. Ito, I think it's a big deal, Isa na lang ang magiging requirement.
Mhm.
Sa lahat, CLB 6.
Mhm.
Okay? Work experience.
Mhm.
1 year cumulative experience, whether Canadian
Or
or
foreign.
foreign in the
Mhm.
last 3 years.
Mhm.
Do you support ito, no? And everything else, guys, will remain the same for, ano pa ba yung iba? Yung sa age, Teka, hold on. Yeah, what do you think about these changes, Attorney Lou?
I mean, yung changes na mga binanggit mo, let's unpack it. Kasi baka
Okay.
isipin ng mga tao na, oh, meron akong 1 year experience. Oh, CLB 6 na ako, okay na ako. No, these are minimum entry criteria. Baseline po ito, hindi po ito yung parang kapag meron ka na, pwede ka na mag-apply.
Okay.
How the current system works is you need to qualify in one of the 3 programs, yung sinasabi nga natin ng last episode, na you either qualify for federal skilled worker, which is may 1 year continuous work experience ka from abroad, or meron kang 12 months experience in Canada as an employee or employed ka nga in Canada with a skilled position, and or yung pangatlo, yung trades, which is meron kang 12 months experience naman na nagtatrabaho ka in one of the qualifying trades. So,
Okay.
dahil i-merge nila ito, wala nang point na i-value yung Canadian versus foreign. So, isa na nga lang, basta 1 year cumulative experience na nga lang daw. Yun yung pinopropose. I'll get to my value judgments later. Yung pangalawa sa language is the same. For federal skilled worker, the baseline minimum is 7. Proposal ngayon is ibaba siya sa 6. Why? It's because yung sa trades, 5 yung requirements. Sa CEC, 5 yung requirements. So they're just trying to meet it in the middle, in other words. So in terms of value judgments, do I have an opinion on this? I mean, I don't know what this will do, but it will certainly simplify things for a lot of people. That's for
Oo.
sure.
Pero I like the point that you raised, no? Hindi porke ito na yon, you will limit yourself and assume na, okay, pasok na ako dito. I mean, if
Boom.
you were to like help out a client, syempre gusto mo, dagdagan mo yan para at least to increase your chances, right? Tama
Yeah.
ba?
So the
Oo.
current environment right now sa Express Entries is so competitive that I actually ask my clients to get 10s across the board.
Right.
Diba?
Oo.
Siguro pwedeng sumabit yung isa na 9, pwede. Pero as much as possible, dapat 10 to. So
Okay.
ganun siya. So wag tayo magre-rest on the fact na sinasabi 6. Guys, ngayon ang requirement is either 5 or 7. Alam
Right.
natin na hindi siya sufficient to get an invitation. So ganun pa
Oh,
rin naman kasi yung magiging sistema. It's a minimum entry criteria.
okay. Oh, ito naman next. Mukhang magbabalik ang job offer points.
Correct.
Tinanggal po ito like a while back because
Mhm.
of the whole, I believe, because of the whole Lamia for sale issue na ang daming
Yes,
kumukuha ng job offer,
correct.
nagsilabasan yung mga peking job offer para makuha yung 50 points back then.
50 points,
Sa
correct.
ngayon, wala pa naman pong sinasabing number of points kung ilan, but mukhang isa po yan rather sa mga kino-consider. What do
Mhm.
you think? Is it time to bring it back? Natapos na ba yung problema ng fake job offers,
Yeah.
Attorney Lou?
Well, alam natin naghihigpit sa LMIAs ngayon. Alam natin na mas vigilant ang ESDC. Alam natin yung requirement, sobrang hirap na ngayon. So, well, compared to before. Kasi halimbawa, yung advertising requirements lang before was 4 weeks. Ngayon, you have to advertise for 8. Tapos, every so often, you have to renew. You have to really submit good evidence na in-interview mo nga talaga. Hindi pro forma yung pagpo-post ng mga ads. 'Di ba?
Right.
So,
Oo.
sana may mga lessons learned. So what I would like to see personally when it comes to restoring these points is that IRCC takes its time to take stock of the lessons of the reforms that they've done so that kung ano yung ilalatag nilang sistema, as much as possible, hindi naman perpekto kasi hindi naman tayo magkakaroon ng sistemang perpekto, but as close to it as possible. Lalo na
Right.
pagdating sa stamp out ng mga fake job offers, mga LMIAs for sale nga. Mas maganda talagang maiwasan natin yung mga ganito.
Yeah. Oo. Pati hindi clear, no, Attorney Lou, if it automatically means all types of job offers o baka maging for high-skilled jobs only, wala pang ganong mention no?
Wala pang mention ng kahit ano kung saan siya bibigay. Kasi hindi lang naman sa LMIAs yan, Ina. May mga LMIA exempt work permits.
Right.
Halimbawa, mga treaty work permits na LMIA exempt na binibigyan din ng points. So in that regard, hindi natin alam. So I think this is gonna be part of the public consultation.
Okay, oo nga, which reminds me, okay, let us stress, hindi pa po in effect ito.
Tagal pa yan.
Mag-uumpisa pa lang yung consultation period for these proposed changes. It might take a long time before these actually are implemented. For all we know, posible pang magbago. Okay, hindi masunod yung ilan lang yung masusunod, yung mga ganyang
Yeah.
bagay. Okay? Okay, next one. Ito yung nabanggit natin kanina, may incentives na for high wage occupations.
Hmm.
Extra points may be given for those in high wage occupations, working high wage occupations.
Mhm.
This is new, Attorney Lou. How do you think will this change yung competition dyan?
Well, obviously, those people who are making more in their occupations are going to have an advantage, an edge
Oh,
over the others. So yung mga entry level, yung mga high skilled positions, pero hindi naman sila like, I guess like sobrang bihasado sa kanilang posisyon. Pwedeng mas may incentive ngayon na
mhm.
makakuha sila ng points, and the advantage would be, yun nga, ma-retain natin yung mga talent na talagang nagsistay.
Alright. Speaking of points, ito, big deal ito. Mukhang baka, no? Mabago yung point system. Okay. Modified or removed. Maaring mangyari for some points given to specifically, teka, pupuntahan ko yung listahan natin. Sa, ano ba yan? Okay. Having siblings in Canada, French proficiency,
Yes.
study in Canada,
Mhm.
okay, having a spouse in Canada. Ano ba 'tong PT nomination? Province or
Provincial
territorial
territorial
nomination?
nomination, yes.
Oh, wow, okay. So guys, for those factors that I just mentioned, potentially puwedeng tanggalin or
Mm,
i-modify
yeah.
yung points na binibigay diyan. I think this is
Mhm.
a big deal, Attorney Lou, 'no?
Definitely, kasi isa sa
Oo.
mga ina-emphasize ng mga advocates, including immigration lawyers, about the spouse points is bakit pa kasi may negative implications kapag accompanying ang spouse ta's hindi sila nagbigay ng language test results. Bakit meron 'tong bearing dun sa overall application? So there's debate there. I mean, again, we're still in the stage where there's gonna be public consultation. So I think we
Mhm.
should take it with a grain of salt na ino-open lang nila for discussion to. As regards French
Uh-huh.
proficiency, tandaan kasi natin, dalawang levels kasi yung establish ng language points mo right now. So first is they look at your first official language, second official language, and then if you speak French, there's what's called bilingualism points in French,
Alright.
or French as a second language nga, na may up to maximum 50 ka. So in theory, ang dami mong additional points talaga for, ini-incentivize talaga nila yung French.
Oh.
So yung mga critics ng French category-based draws, I think they're gonna have their moment in the sun. Siguro baka dito nga yung magiging discussion dito. I suspect if I'm gonna pull out my crystal ball here, yung points for French, or English for that matter, will probably stay dun sa second official language evaluation. Pero yung
Oh,
booster points for knowing French, baka bawasan. Kasi at the
I
same time,
see.
dalawang ano yan puwersa yan eh. Yung unang puwersa, um, ano siya, like pinupush nila yung Francophone immigration outside Quebec,
Mhm.
because it is a parliamentary mandate. On the other hand, you have people in the field of expertise nga na sinasabi nila this kind of like goes against the grain of express entry. So I think both arguments can be heard during this consultation, and I think we're
Yeah.
gonna hear very lively discussions.
Oo, what does this mean, Attorney Lou, 'pag marinig nung mga kababayan natin nag-umpisa na mag-aral ng French? Ano
Mm,
'to,
yeah,
babawasan bigla yung points for us. Hindi pa
right.
ako tapos sa aking class.
Well, two things, keep at it, bilisan nyo. Kasi hindi naman automatic at overnight itong changes na 'to.
Yeah.
Pangalawa, like, hindi mawawala ang French as a priority in my opinion, because the second official language is still there, and according to the information na lumabas nga at ni-leak ng iba, is meron pa rin sa second official language, and it's not gonna be changed. It's really the booster points for French. And kung mame-maintain yung French category-based draws, keep in mind, yun naman talaga yung game dun, which means na mas mababa yung cut-off score, generally speaking. So we will see what the debate brings about the consultation.
Okay. Oh, guys, basta ituloy niyo lang 'yan and do it as fast as you can,
Yeah.
okay? Eto naman, I think I like this one. Magbibigay din ng incentives or ipa-prioritize, Attorney Lou, ang skilled tradespeople and regulated professionals who
Aha.
are parang practice ready. I don't know how they're gonna prioritize this. Ano ba 'to, tsaka ano, sino kaya considered ang practice ready? Because this is a very common concern
Yeah.
ano, sa mga
Mhm.
professionals natin, healthcare workers na parang, "Dapat
Yeah.
kunin ako, tatrabahuhin ko
Yeah.
naman yung lisensya ko pagdating
The
dito."
practice ready point is actually very important. Tama ka na bringing up mo yan. Kasi
Oo,
pwedeng nurse ka kasi sa Pilipinas, pero hindi mo pa nata-translate yung lisensya mo from the Philippines, yung qualifications mo to the province of Ontario,
yeah.
for example. So in that point, are you practice ready as a nurse? Then the answer is no kung wala ka pang lisensya to work as a nurse. If you
Okay.
do have your nursing license, it would be incentivized to work. So it actually like promotes economic integration, which is actually an interesting and I support this initiative. Kasi tama naman talaga. Pero ang gusto kong makita from the federal government is sana pukpukin nila yung mga provincial governments na ayusin yung mga regulatory bodies in order to allow people to actually get their licenses faster. Kasi grabe yung ano, yung bureaucratic red tape ng mga professional organization na pwede nating sabihing protectionist. Kasi sa
Mhm.
totoo lang, mas madali pang kumuha ng lisensya as a nurse in the US than in Canada. Bakit?
Oo naman.
Tatlo ba ang
Oo.
baga ng mga Canadian? Hindi ko maintindihan. Apat ba ang bituka natin? Hindi ko maintindihan eh. So, bakit kailangan napakahirap ng requirements? And hindi naman natin sinasabi na, dapat ilusan up. What I'm saying is make it streamlined kasi it doesn't make sense na
Yeah.
ganito ka dami yung hoops na dinadaan nila. And that goes for all professions and trades. So that's good. And
Yeah.
again, it goes back to point number 1 na ni-raise mo kanina is yung economic success. Kasi if you're working in your position subjectively, and ang dami ng surveys na lumalabas and studies by StatsCan, na ang daming umaalis, kini-quit ang Canada because hindi sila nagiging successful in Canada, right? And
True.
part of that is because they can't break through in their profession. At nakaka-degrade yun as a human, eh. So,
Oo.
obviously understandable yan. But again, while this is purely immigration, purely federal, the federal government must incentivize carrots and sticks itong mga provincial governments to move in the right direction. Speaking of
Right.
which, I just saw Ontario quietly. Nakita mo yung article sa Toronto Star. They talked
Ay, which
about
one?
they had an article there about like doctors yung sa physicians college nga.
Ay, hindi ko
Um
pa nakikita. Sige.
meron hanapin mo. Basically what the province quietly did is they're trying to start to streamline the process for accreditation.
I hope so. Grabe ang shortage ng mga doktor talaga dito. Ang tagal ng
Totoo.
waiting time kahit simpleng appointment for some.
Totoo lang.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry guys 'no, medyo may ubo pa tayo. But I think that's it 'no? I think that's it. We covered all the big, specifics. May mga nagtatanong, I'm sure, ano mangyayari sa mga category-based draws? I also saw it dito sa ating ano 'no,
Mm,
presentation. Guys,
good
I think
question.
it will remain 'no? Tama ba, Attorney Lou? What do you see happening? Ako, oo.
I believe so. If
Oo.
you look at, I'm trying to find the slide. If you look at slide 8 dun sa ano nga sa
Oo.
information.
22
Um,
tsaka 8, Attorney Lou, nakita ko sa
Oo,
page.
sa page 8 nakalagay category-based selection. Andun pa rin siya, mga tinitignan kung
Yeah.
ano yung mga babaguhin. So, most likely there will be some changes to category-based selection.
Mhm.
Probably, kasi ano 'to, open debate na 'to. It's open season for like criticisms, whether positive or negative, in regard to express entry as a whole. And category-based selection is a central part of that. So, hindi ako magugulat kung magkaroon ng changes dito. Which is very
Oo.
interesting kasi 'di ba kakaayos lang nito nung January.
Yeah.
Kakalabas nga lang ng resulta, 'di ba?
Totoo, totoo 'no. Nakita ko dito, sabi regarding category-based draws, changes may enhance outcomes of category-based selection
Yes.
by ensuring that within a category, the candidates with highest economic potential, gano'n pa din ano, are
Gano'n talaga.
prioritized. Yeah.
Economic integration 'to kasi yung main problem ng immigration ng Canada before the mess of like the COVID period is essentially boiling down to nagki-quit ang mga tao ng Canada because hindi sila nagiging economically established, 'di
Right.
ba?
Okay.
Ay, isang factor diyan is ang baba ng sahod or
Yeah.
hindi sila maka-breakthrough sa profession nila. So, I really appreciate what IRCC is trying to do here. And
Yeah.
I'm hopeful na very robust yung public consultations nila.
Oo.
Ang hope ko lang talaga is 'wag masyadong madaliin ng IRCC ito. They take their time to actually get meaningful changes and meaningful discussions like on the road for this.
Right, oo. Ako nakikita ko mukhang talagang mas madali maintindihan 'no, kung sino
Yes.
ang puwedeng makapasok dun
Yeah.
sa pool. But definitely I think it's going to be more competitive, even more
Yeah.
competitive,
I
'no?
mean, isa sa
Oo.
nabanggit mo dati before na napag-usapan natin 'to offhand was wala na yung international student pathway if ever. Kasi
Oo, ay
nabanggit
by the
mo.
way, can we zero in on that?
Sure.
Baka tanggalin 'no, or i-modify, remove or
Mhm.
modify points given to those with studies na yung mga nakapag-aral dito sa Canada. How
Correct.
will that impact yung, mga pumapasok through the international student program? What do you see happening here? As it is,
Level
sobrang bumaba na yung enrollment, 'di ba?
Level playing field, oo. I mean,
Oo.
nakikita mo siya, like, finally the left hand is talking to the right hand na
Mhm.
merong levels plan for PR, meron din for temporary residents. And I'm sure nakita mo yung balita na ang taas ng refusal rates for study permits in Canada. So we're trying to find a good level. My only, like, I guess, like, hindi naman only, pero isa sa concerns ko dito is like, baka naman yung blowback na ang daming nare-refuse, maging unattractive destination na rin ng Canada for education. Kasi at the end of the
Oo.
day, kailangan pa rin robust yung system na yan, yung program na yan. Kasi it's a good pool for people who integrate well in Canada. Halimbawa, meron akong mga ibang kliyente, dito na nag-aral ng nursing. 'Di
Yeah,
ba?
oo.
So obviously, mas madali yung licensing process nila kasi talagang steeped sila dun sa sistema dito. So,
Okey.
you know, may incentivize ba sila? Ang ginagawa lang ng immigration is like shini-shift nila yung incentives, yung points from studying in Canada for those who are practice ready. Yun yung nakikita ko.
I see.
Again, this needs to be a part of the consultations, the discussion. Everything
Yeah.
is up for debate. And I think
Mhm.
this is very healthy. And, I want to, commend IRCC for like doing this at this stage. And sana yun lang talaga request ko, wag sana sila magmadali.
Oo, okey. Do you see last na lang 'to 'no,
Sige.
yung trend ngayon, yung sinasabi ng IRCC na prioritize yung mga nandito na sa loob ng Canada, do
Mm.
you see it continuing yung ganiyang, system with these, changes or mukhang dadami din posible muli yung mga landed immigrants na darating through express entry?
The way I see it is merong mga candidates from outside who will be benefiting from this, but at the same time, ang laki kasi nung emphasis on high wage, tsaka
Oo,
practice ready.
right,
So
right.
kung nandun ka sa high wage and practice ready, obviously, those are the ones who are already in Canada, 'di ba?
Okey,
So ang ibig
got it.
sabihin, people who are still in Canada are better off. Ang magiging problematic siguro dito is yung mga tao na, anong tawag dito, hindi sila dun in highly technical occupations na hindi licensed, tas mababa yung wage, mga generalist. And in this channel, Ina, we've been like talking about the problem of generalists. Kasi nga,
Yeah,
yung mga education agents in the past, nag-oversell sila, nag-overmarket sila ng mga business diploma or ano ba 'to, yung, supply management or supply chain management ba kumbaga, na ang dami masyadong nag-take na 'yan, may oversupply ka, lahat sila nagtatrabaho as coffee pourers. And
yeah,
no disrespect to those people, pero yung point kasi is like, what does Canada need for success? Kasi gusto rin ng Canada na kapag nandito ka, nag-a-upgrade ka rin, nag-a-upscale ka rin, 'di ba?
right, oo. Speaking of that, since inumpisan mo, eto last na talaga 'to.
Hmm.
Okay. Siguro it's a little bit outside express entry. But as you mentioned, ang dami nating kababayan na, medyo hindi high skilled yung kinuhang mga trabaho, ganyan. Anong kinalalagyan nila ngayon, generally speaking, sa immigration policy ng Canada? Ano ang chances nila ngayon ba nakikita mo, yung mga low skilled
Yeah,
workers natin, yung mga tier
in
four
my
five ganyan, oo.
Year 4, 5 talagang halos wala na talaga, sad to say. Ang
Oo,
daming lumalapit sa akin and, nakakaubos ng puso na paano ko ba sasabihin sa kanila na sobrang hirap nito, that their only way to fight at this point is to buy more time. Siyempre ang hirap niyan kung sinama na nila yung mga pamilya nila na alam naman natin, in order for the spouse to benefit from spousal open work permit, kailangan tier 0, 1, 2, 3 ka, 'di ba? So,
oo,
napaka-problematic ng situation nila. And alam natin na ito yung mga pains ng reforms na ginagawa nga since 2025 because
oo.
Canada needs to rebalance and to refocus its immigration policies.
Even you're talking about even outside the express entry system, like sa mga provinces, mga ganun pa rin sila.
Yeah, outside the
Oh.
provincial nominations na meron pa rin na mga streams and very limited na sila compared to say for example 2 years ago. Ang problema na nakikita ko is yung mga pilot programs na naka-focus sa tier 4 and 5, sobrang sarado na. Yung agri-food pilot, for example, caregiver stream is suspended, etc., etc. Yung Atlantic Immigration, na-cut yung numbers, di ba? Alam naman natin hindi na-cut siya in terms of like, hindi siya sumama dun sa growth overall ng economic numbers. Tapos, kung titignan mo naman sa provincial nomination, nakafocus din sila sa mga high demand, high skilled.
Right.
Nag-rebalance sila actually. Pansin natin yan in the last 1 to 2 years.
Ay, okay. Oh, guys, na real talk lang yan. Yan po
Yeah.
talaga ang kasalukuyang nangyayari.
No false hopes here. Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you so much, Lou, again. Okay, for your time. We will end this episode here. Kung meron ko ibang tanong kay Attorney Lou, his email is the one down there crawling at the bottom. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!